Let's just jump right into it today. We're diving into an explainer on something called the 5 a.m. Foundation. Basically, it's a 90-day blueprint for completely escaping a stagnant life and taking back what is absolutely your most valuable currency, your time. And to really understand how this works, we need to start with a story.
So I want you to picture this stark contrast. Meet Thomas. He's a 32-year-old night shift security guard, and he feels, well, completely trapped. And the reason why is that he's basically living his life in reverse. Every single night at 8 p.m., he heads to work in this dusty, depressing warehouse. And then every morning at 6 a.m., totally drained, he walks home just to go to sleep. So while the rest of the world is waking up, pouring their coffee, and actually moving forward with their lives, Thomas is literally sleeping through the day. He is living backwards.
And this backwards schedule, it's trapped him in a state of pure survival. This is his everyday reality, and honestly, the pain of it is immense. We're talking a cramped, one-room apartment with a broken ceiling fan. He's sleeping on a thin mattress on the floor. His shoes literally have holes in them. But, it's not even just the lack of money that's crushing him. It's the absolute absence of any future prospects. That recurring nightmare of an 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. grind was just slowly, methodically breaking his spirit. It left him with zero foundation to build a better life on.
But as we know, every massive transformation usually requires a catalyst. For Thomas, that wake-up call came in the form of a devastating phone call on a freezing Tuesday morning. His mother had collapsed. He rushes to this little rural clinic, and the doctor tells him she had fainted from sheer exhaustion and severe stress, which is just a brutal physical toll of trying to survive without enough money. As she's lying there, just incredibly fragile, she squeezes his hand and delivers this heartbreaking plea. "Thomas, I don't have much time left. Please, my son, promise me you won't waste your life the way I had to waste mine. Find a way."
That moment right there, that was the breaking point. Thomas steps outside the clinic into the pitch-black cold. He looks at the clock, and it reads exactly 5 a.m. There are a few farmers quietly walking to their fields with lanterns, and standing there in that pre-dawn silence, he didn't feel sadness. He felt this intense, fiery anger at his own helplessness. Looking out at that quiet dawn, he just whispered a vow to himself, "No more. I don't care what it takes, I will find a way out."
Now here's where things get really interesting. On the weary bus ride back to the city, a mentor appears. Thomas spots this elegant older guy in a sharp suit just calmly reading a hardcover book. This is Mr. Chun. He's a wildly successful businessman who owns multiple enterprises in town. Thomas is completely baffled by this. I mean, it's barely 6 a.m. Why on earth is an elite, wealthy businessman awake, alert, and riding a public bus at the crack of dawn? So he works up the courage to ask him. And Mr. Chun explains that he wakes up at 4:30 a.m. every single day to design his future in the quiet, before the loud, chaotic world wakes up.
Thomas ends up explaining his miserable, backwards night shift life, and Mr. Chun perfectly diagnoses the problem with one simple, piercing observation. He says, "You are awake when the world sleeps, and asleep when the world builds." Let that sink in for a second. It's such a profound shift in perspective. Mr. Chun introduces the hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. as the magic hours. That is your uninterrupted window to build the life you actually want while everyone else is still dreaming.
Okay, so let's look at the actual math behind this philosophy, because it's fascinating. The very next day, Thomas flips his sleep schedule and meets Mr. Chun at a cafe. Mr. Chun pulls out his journal, draws a sketch of a solid stone foundation, and writes down one single powerful number, 700. He tells Thomas, "Right now, your life is falling apart because you spend all your time merely surviving. You're never building a foundation. But if you dedicate just 2 hours a day, from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., that's 14 hours a week. And if you run that over a year, that yields over 700 hours of pure foundation building time." To put that 700 hours into perspective, it is a massive, massive advantage. Think about what 700 hours actually represents in the real world. It's the equivalent of 3 entire months of standard full-time work. 3 whole months of pure, focused effort that the rest of the world completely throws away by sleeping through it. That right there is how you close the giant gap between where you are today and where you desperately want to be. So how do we actually put this into practice? Mr. Chun doesn't just leave Thomas with some vague concept. He gives him an exact, non-negotiable blueprint. He calls it the 2-hour foundation. It's beautifully simple and split perfectly in half. Step 1 is hour 1, from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. And step 2 is hour 2, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Let's break down exactly what you're doing in each of these blocks. During that first hour, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., your one and only goal is to build the skill. You are dedicating these 60 minutes to heavy, intensive learning that will directly increase your financial value in the marketplace. We are talking deep work here. That means absolutely zero distractions, no social media, no entertainment, definitely no casual scrolling, just pure, uninterrupted focus on acquiring a capability that makes you more valuable.
Then, the minute the clock strikes 6 a.m., you immediately pivot into hour 2. This hour is all about building the body and the mind, sharpening your physical and mental vehicle, so to speak. You split this hour into 2 30-minute blocks. For the first half hour, you sweat. You do physical exercise to build up your energy and your resilience. Then you use the final 30 minutes for deep reading or strategic planning for your future.
Now, to be totally upfront with you, Mr. Chun is very clear with Thomas. This requires a level of discipline most people just do not have. He warns him about the timeline of discipline. The first 7 days, they are going to be pure agony. It will feel like hell. Your brain will relentlessly scream at you to hit snooze and stay under that warm blanket. But if you can just push through and survive 21 days, it evolves into a habit. And if you can survive 90 days, it literally becomes your permanent identity. Do it for 3 months, he tells him, and then show me what you built.
So Thomas goes all in. The very next morning, at 5 a.m. sharp, his alarm shrieks. His whole body aches. But he pictures his mother's face, and he physically forces himself out of bed in the pitch black. For his high-value skill, he sits at his little table while the city is dead quiet, and he uses his phone to study complex data formulas. He dives headfirst into advanced accounting and data spreadsheets, using nothing but free YouTube tutorials. Watching his 90-day transformation is honestly incredible. Exactly as Mr. Chun warned, day 1 is pure agony. But by day 20, something miraculous happens. His body actually adapts. He naturally starts waking up at 4:58 a.m., 2 whole minutes before his alarm even goes off. By month 2, those confusing data formulas, they're finally making complete sense. His physical posture is straighter from the daily workouts, his mind is razor sharp, and that sets the perfect stage for day 87.
See, during his grueling night shifts, Thomas had noticed a glaring problem. His employer's warehouse inventory was a total chaotic mess. So using the exact data and spreadsheet skills he'd been learning in the dark during his 5 a.m. foundation hours, Thomas completely reorganizes the entire facility. Entirely on his own initiative, he builds a clean, highly organized, custom digital tracking system.
And you better believe that kind of extraordinary initiative gets noticed. On day 87, the warehouse owner calls Thomas into the main office. He had seen this brilliant new tracking system and was blown away. Right then and there, he offers Thomas a full-time, daytime corporate bookkeeping position. And the absolute best part? It comes with double his original salary. In less than 90 days, this hopeless night guard permanently escaped the night shift and landed a seat in the corporate office. Fast forward a year down the line, and the contrast is just staggering. Thomas is now living in a beautiful, sunlit apartment. He isn't just a bookkeeper, he's managing the company's entire accounting department. And most importantly, he was able to move his mother to the city, getting her the absolute highest quality medical care. He actually kept the promise he made to her outside that freezing clinic. But here is the absolute best part of this whole story. Even after achieving all this, every single morning when the clock strikes 5 a.m., Thomas is already awake, reading by the window. When his new colleagues ask him, "Hey, why do you still wake up so early? You've already made it." Thomas drops this incredible piece of wisdom. He says, "Success is not a final destination. It is a daily practice, and my practice begins when the world is quiet."
So I'm throwing the gauntlet down to you. The massive chasm between where you are right now and where you want to be is defined entirely by what you do when everyone else is asleep. At 5 a.m., your willpower is at its absolute peak, and there are 0 notifications pulling for your attention. So here is your challenge for tonight. Set your alarm for exactly 5 a.m. Place your phone all the way across the room so you have to physically get up. Pick one singular, high-value skill, and commit to building it for the next 90 days.
Your future self is waiting eagerly on the exact other side of that alarm clock. The foundation is there, the quiet hours are waiting for you, and the 90-day timeline is proven to work. So please, do not make your future self wait another day. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to carry with you when you go to sleep tonight. Will you wake up tomorrow?